Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about a part of our body that we rely on every single day, but let's be honest, we almost completely forget about them. I'm talking about our feet, and even more specifically, our toes. We're about to find out just how they form the true foundation of our body's strength and stability. So let me just start by asking you something. Think about the end of a long day. Maybe you've been standing or walking around for hours. Do your feet ever feel sore, tired, or just plain achy? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone. There's a really good reason why so many of us feel this way. An article from the Jung-Ong Ilbo put it perfectly. It said our toes are often treated as neglected nuisances. We just cram them into tight shoes all day and pretty much forget they're even there. But today we're going to see exactly why that's a mistake we really can't afford to keep making. All right, let's get right into our first section. Think of this as a bit of a warning, coming directly from our neglected toes. We're going to uncover the really critical link between the strength of your toes and your body's overall stability. Take a look at this number, -40%. It's a pretty powerful finding from a study at Kanazawa Medical University over in Japan. What they discovered was that the toe grip strength of people who had recently fallen was, on average, a full 40% weaker than those who hadn't. Now, that is not a small difference. It's a clear, direct link between how strong our toes are and our ability to stay on our feet. So this all boils down to a really simple but profound idea. I want you to start thinking of your feet as the literal foundation of your body. And just like the foundation of a house, if that base is weak or unstable, the entire structure sitting on top of it is at risk. Problems that start in your feet, well, they don't just stay in your feet. That instability can travel all the way up through your ankles, it can misalign your knees, affect your hips, and it can even lead to problems in your spine. It's all connected. So the big question is, how do we strengthen this vital foundation? Well, it all starts with understanding a part of our anatomy that most of us have probably never even heard of. Because you see, your feet have core muscles too. You've probably heard a million times how important your abdominal core muscles are for stability, right? Well, guess what? Your feet have their very own core system. It's made up of muscles called the intrinsic muscles, or naejaegun in Korean. These are tiny, deep muscles that both start and end completely inside the foot. Their main job is to provide that crucial structural stability to your arches. To really get it, it helps to think of your foot muscles as two different teams that have to work together. On one team, you have the intrinsic muscles. Think of them as the subtle, deep core stabilizers. And on the other team, you've got the extrinsic muscles. These are the bigger muscles that actually start up in your lower leg. They're the power movers that are responsible for the big stuff like pointing or flexing your foot. So while the big guys create the movement, it's the little intrinsic muscles that provide all the essential stability from underneath. So what happens when this foot core of ours gets weak? Well, a few things. The arches can start to flatten out, the foot's natural cushioning gets thinner, your balance can become unstable, and your risk for really painful conditions like plantar fasciitis goes way up. Okay, so now that we get the why, let's talk about the practical how. And here's the wonderful news. Strengthening your foot's core doesn't require a gym membership or any fancy equipment. We're going to go through some simple but super effective toe strengthening exercises you can do right at home just sitting in a chair. All right, our first exercise is a classic for a reason. It's called the towel drag. All you do is sit in a chair, place a towel on the floor under one foot, and keep your heel planted on the ground. Then, using only your toes, start to scrunch up the fabric and pull that towel towards you. Once it's all bunched up, just smooth it back out and do it again. Aim for about 5 to 10 times on each foot. It's a fantastic way to wake up those toe flexor muscles. Next up, we have a more dynamic exercise that's actually kind of fun. It's toe, rock, paper, scissors. So for rock, you're going to curl all your toes down, like you're making a little fist. For paper, you do the opposite. Extend them all up and spread them as wide as you possibly can. And then for scissors, here's the challenge. Try to lift only your big toe while keeping the other 4 toes down. It's tricky. Repeating this sequence really helps build amazing dexterity and control. And finally, we have what might be the most important exercise of them all. It's called the short foot. So you're sitting, foot flat on the floor. Now, try to pull the ball of your foot back towards your heel, but, and this is the key, without curling your toes. you should feel the arch of your foot lift up just a little bit. It's a very small, very subtle movement, but it is one of the single most effective ways to directly activate those deep intrinsic core muscles. Now, this is the crucial point to remember for that short foot exercise, so listen closely. You have to keep your toes flat and relaxed. The second you start to curl them, those bigger extrinsic muscles, the power movers, they take over the job, and then you miss the whole benefit of targeting the foot's core. So remember, flat toes are absolutely essential.
You know, by practicing these simple movements, you're doing so much more than just making your feet feel better today. You are actually building lifelong strength for walking. It's these small, consistent habits that create a much more stable and confident future for you.
And the long-term rewards, they are huge. We're talking about better balance and a much lower risk of faults, improved posture that starts from the ground up, even enhanced blood circulation in your lower legs, plus less daily foot pain and fatigue, and ultimately a stronger, more solid foundation for your entire body. So as we start to wrap up, I really hope you can see that taking care of your feet isn't just about avoiding pain. It's a proactive, powerful investment in your future. Investment in your mobility, your freedom, and your independence for all the years to come.
Let's end on this final thought. I think we all hope to stay active, healthy, and self-sufficient as we get older. So with that in mind, what's the one small step? Which one of these simple toe exercises will you choose to start with today to make sure you can walk confidently when you're 100? Thank you so much for joining me.